All right, this is your dreaded crypto channel. Davey coming at you on November 29th, 2020. All right, so market's pretty much steady, kind of where we were yesterday, up a couple $100. We're bouncing pretty good. I'll refresh this a little bit. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of like give you an idea of what my game plan is during this market, and what most people are going to be telling you what they're doing as far as the investors and kind of what happened last cycle as opposed to this one. I mean, we're at the beginning of a bull cycle. It's pretty much confirmed. I mean, technically, a lot of people consider it 100% confirmed once we go above the 20K level, previous highs. So if you wanted to be conservative, you would wait for the 20 week, 21 week to maybe be tested one more time, and we bounce off that. That would be a really good confirmation that we're absolutely in a bull market, and should be relatively smooth sailing on up for the next year or so. And that's one question a lot of people have is like, how long is this going to last? Well, some people think this will last 2 or 3 years. There's two theories. There's the theory that this will go on and be an extended cycle, go on an extra year or so, and end of 2022 or 2023. I have to say that that's probably the least likely, since we have 4-year cycles and they've pretty much been really similar the last couple times around. So, I mean, I think we'll probably got until end of next year, end of 2021, beginning Q1 2022. But hey, if it keeps on going, that's even better. But the game plan is to start taking profits about a year from now, regardless of where we're at and what's happening. Like, better to be safe than sorry. So, they're 21 week. Let's see where it's at right now. It's around 12,500. Yeah, the daily RSI has been reset. So we might, go on back up for a 21, 22, 23K retest. It's not out of the question. We get above and then hold support. Maybe we break back down to hit the 21 week later on. I still feel like we're going to need a little bit more of a correction than this. I mean, you look at all these other market cycles, and when they do peak, they come on down. So if we're just to do a little bit of a turnaround, seems really unlikely for me. So I mean, I'm still contending that we're going to come down to 14K, 15K at least. But if I'm wrong, we'll go on up, break the all-time high, and come on back down. And that'll probably put us around after Christmas, something like that would be my guess. I have a hard time thinking we're going to go break the all-time high immediately. But we'll have to see. Back to the whole game plan. So what happens during these whole corrections? So Bitcoin will correct and consolidate, and during that correction and consolidation is when the altcoins will run. So that's when you want to be positioned in altcoins. Like right now, you want to be positioned in altcoins pretty heavily. So you let them run while Bitcoin consolidates, and as they run, you start taking those profits and you put those into Bitcoin and maybe Ethereum stable coins, maybe some of the new gold-backed stable coins. I think GSX is one, Paxos Gold. Not really sure what Elrond Gold's whole thing is, but I think that's kind of the same idea. There's a few others. I'm sure there's a lot of others. But yeah, so you put your winnings into other cryptos that are maybe a little more stable. One guy I was watching, might have been Steven Spencer, not really sure. Was doing technical analysis on Link. Link has been the outperformer on this market to Bitcoin this entire time. So you can almost consider Link as something to start dumping your money into when you're taking profits from the altcoins. So we're probably going to get into an altcoin cycle here very soon. They may have already started. Look at some of these guys running up. Like XRP is crazy. Probably going to go to $1 if I had to guess. Link, I think it's consolidating. It's probably gonna head on up. I bet you know my prediction is $30, $40, $50, maybe even around Christmas time. I could see it happening. Ethereum is on a run. It's going. So these things are not stopping, and it's go time. So yeah, so you kind of balance it out. You kind of hedge it. So as altcoins run, take those profits. Not all of them. You don't, sometimes they'll keep on running. So you maybe take 10, 20% off the top, put those back into to stable or Bitcoin or whatever. The ones that aren't running, or maybe you have a speculative altcoin that caught your eye and you want to like throw a little bit into that. That's what I've been doing. So just keep an eye on everything. And then you also kind of want to look at altcoins that might be just dying. You know, there are coins that I hold that are literally during this whole run up, they're just going straight across or slightly down. Burst coin is one of them. One of my buddies, I'm pretty heavily invested in Burst, and it's just it just isn't doing anything. So there are ones that won't do that well. I could take my money out of Burst and put it into something else, but at this point I've lost so much that I'd rather just see it go to zero. I mean, it could just bounce one day and then I'll be kicking myself. So I'd rather kick myself about a loss of $100 than you know miss out on an opportunity. Maybe it goes to 1,000 by the end of the next cycle. I mean, it'll still probably run up, but it could die. Just another horror story. At the end of last cycle, I started getting into this one project, Crypto Bridge. They had their own exchange, and it seemed like a good thing. Like they were using Litecoin. They were a big supporter of Litecoin, and I guess their own. They had a CRO token. I kind of forget what it was, but anyway, like I went heavily into it. Like you could stake them on their network, and you got rewards in Bitcoin, and it was like ahead of its time. And at the time, like no one was doing that, and I was really looking for some companies and assets exchanges that would let you lend and earn interest in crypto. So I took a lot of money and put it into that, and in the end, the exchange crashed. I don't know if it was an exit scam or they got forced to do KYC. They lost a lot of their sponsors. You probably go to cryptobridge.com and it'll probably just say it's shut down. I don't know if it's even an operational website right now. So it's just a horror story. Like you gotta be willing to lose. Like I probably lost a good. I don't even want to say how much money. It was a lot of money. So things happen. Like once we get towards the end of this cycle, I mean, we go hit 100,000 like some people are saying, or 150. We'll probably overshoot it. Um, you know, if you're gonna stick into the cycle, if you're gonna hold on to any of your coins, like make sure that your coins do have good fundamentals. I mean, take some profits, maybe take mostly all profits, but you might want to hold on to some of them just to keep an eye on the market. Like if you do whatever you do hold on to, make sure you really believe in the project and it has a good team. Because once you hit to the top of this market cycle, anything that is weak and anything that doesn't have good fundamentals and has a bad team and just isn't being accepted by the community, it's probably going to not make it through the next alt cycle, or bear market. I'm sorry, bear market. So you gotta think like our bear market probably be in 2023, 2024, probably extended somewhere in there. So like I luckily wisened up eventually, and I stopped going into altcoins. I bought a lot more Ethereum and Bitcoin during our bear market, and but then as the bear market matured, you could tell which altcoins were going to survive. Link would be one that was like, wow, this thing's going to stick around and it's doing great, and I was lucky enough to get on that one. Look at also the exchanges. Like some exchanges are more noteworthy, like Coinbase. You could say that's safe. Crypto.com is safe. So if those coins are being listed on those exchanges, those are the safer ones. If someone on the internet's telling you, hey, go buy into this coin, but you gotta go on to, as you say, Binance or one of these other ones, like maybe you had to, subscribe to a totally new exchange you don't know about and you bought it. Like those are gonna be even more risky because they're not on a centralized exchange and they probably haven't been researched by their teams and whatnot. It's 1,000 different things. So just be careful, I guess. But yeah, so during these run-ups, I'd say we're correcting right now. This consolidation, altcoin season. Okay, well, wait for it to consolidate. Once Bitcoin starts running up, all right, it's Bitcoin season. Let those run. Start taking your profits in Bitcoin again. Get them ready to go into alt season. So hopefully you're maybe taking some profits right now in your Bitcoin and putting that into altcoins. That's what most people are doing right now. It's pretty obvious. You look at the charts, and that's what's happening. So we will see. Um, yeah, but if you find, even what's even nicer about these stable coins, it's like a lot of them on these exchanges, Monarch Wallet, Celsius Wallet, the stable coins are getting 8%, you know, dividends. So if you're going to cash out, while Bitcoin is maybe correcting or consolidating, it's sort of topped out, put it in there for a little while, you're going to gain interest on that. That's pretty good interest, so something to think about. Yeah, Link is consolidating still in this channel. It's crazy, beautiful channel. Now, one thing that could happen if we do get a heavier correction, let's look at this real quick. Not saying it's really a wedge. It doesn't look like a wedge to me, right? But say if some people are looking at this like a wedge, you could try to look at a bearish scenario here. And how does this work? So when it does crash, it'll probably come back down to a level here. See, I believe what you do is you take this distance from bottom to top, roughly. Nothing is ever really exact. Sometimes the Fibonacci's will hit completely on the mark. But you see, if we do break down, it kind of puts us in this golden pocket that was created with this Fibonacci that I kind of drew a while back, which would make sense. We drop again and we go down to $8, $9 per link. Could happen. So just be ready for that. All right, so yeah, Ethereum is still running, looking good. We could still come on down with this baby too. That's the daily. I have cash on hand. If it goes down, I'm gonna go even harder on it. So I don't see. Ethereum has enough price data now to where you could probably use this 20-week, 21-week EMA. So that's at around 385, 400. So it could come down to 400 again, and if that happens, I would buy some. Not financial advice, but I would buy some. On the weekly RSI, we're getting a little bit. If this tops out right here, we're gonna have some divergence, unless we run on up. Something to look at. If we run up to 600, 700, this will come on up. But if it comes down, we're gonna have bearish divergence, and we might go visit that 400 level. That's on the weekly, so that's macro. Also, just to note, the bigger the time frame, the more influential the pattern. So if you're trying to judge what's going to happen on an hourly or 4 hourly, get an idea of what's going to happen, but make sure you double check it to the daily or the weekly, because those will be more powerful of signals on the RSI or patterns in general. Kind of looking at this. Actually, Ethereum looks really good. So this is like a W formation. If you watch Da Vinci J, he loves his W's and his M's. W's are bullish while M's are more bearish. So yeah, you got a W and it can come on up to, Ethereum could actually go run towards all-time highs by Christmas. It could definitely happen. So just beware. You could also call it an Adam and Eve pattern. It's usually it's kind of like a spike right here down, and then more of a rounded bottom here. That's a little, it is what it is. Let's look at Litecoin. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Came down and retested. don't know what chart. This is the Coinbase chart. Wow, it went down to 63. Wish I had bought that. I think I actually did long it a little bit. Yeah, it's just it's going to keep on going. It's probably consolidate maybe and run on up, but that's beautiful. All right, I'm pretty bullish on Litecoin. I'm not going to downplay it or anything. And I'm going to run on XRP real quick. And XRP is overextended. Good golly. So not a whole lot of price data. I mean, I would say it's just officially in a bull market now, but looking at this makes me want to take a little bit more profit. You know, some people are saying $1, $2 for the Spark token. I don't know if it could, but that is just such a run up. It's just such a run. I mean, it could. I think it might just do like a bull flag or maybe a falling wedge, something. Might float around the 60 cent to 40 cent area for a while and then go on up. But oh man, she's looking bullish. The problem is there's not much price data, so this looks really crazy. But if you're in profits, maybe take a little bit just to be safe and go into some other, assets. Yeah, we'll have to see what the market does tomorrow with the gold. I think gold might bounce here this week. See what the Fed does and everything. Look at CoinGecko real quick. I was using CoinMarketCap. I prefer CoinGecko. So Cardano's number 8. I guess it fell. It was number 6 or something crazy like that. That was CoinMarketCap. Let's see if there's any outliers, anything crazy. I'm really bullish on Cardano though. More I'm like researching that. You could stake it on the Daedalus wallet and the Yori. I'm about to make another wallet for the Yori wallet. And just looking at this quick little pattern, this is a 7-day pattern. That looks really good. Maybe it comes on down and does an inverse head and shoulders and pops on back up. That could happen. Let's see what else we got. Monero, Tron. Some of these are ready to pop if they haven't already popped. So be ready. Ever ready. Neo. Started stacking a little Neo. Don't want to ignore the Chinese cryptocurrencies and blockchain stuff. Like I was talking to my grandpa the other day. Like China's putting out 600,000 engineers a year. To the United States is 60,000. Who knows how many of them are computer engineers or whatnot, but that country is not to be taken lightly. They are smart people, and there's a lot of them, and they are doing most of the mining, I do believe. So you can't ignore them. Like I wouldn't take sides as far as what country is doing what. You gotta be open to things. Block stack. I want to get some more of that to Tika Tori's recommendation. Energy Web token, that one's at a good buy. Supposedly Tesla is involved with this and has something to do with power grids, and I'm not completely sure, but EWT could be one worth looking into. Look at Chico Crypto's channel. He talks about that one a lot. Ocean Protocol, data storage, that's big. Filecoin was big on that. I don't really know anything about Filecoin. Kind of just came out of nowhere, kind of like Yearn Finance, so kind of like missed the boat on those. Everyone hates on Verge. Like that's like number one. I think I've watched 2 different channels that talk about Verge, and like this is the worst coin ever. Don't know it. It's like, man, that thing's been performing. I don't know exactly what it does. I want to say that Pornhub or something. They were taking Verge token at the end of the last cycle. So something to think about. Golem, however you say it, did crazy good last cycle. The fact that it's still alive is interesting to me. It could really make you some money if it goes up to all-time highs. I mean, you look at this price data information here. Let's see. Look at the max. Hopefully this is quick. Come on. Yeah, I mean, if this thing performs and you go on up to $1 per, and it's at, what is it, 8 cents, 10 cents? You can 10x, 20x your money real quick. Yeah, it's 11 cents. See, $1. No, it went up to $1.07. I mean, what if it goes to $10 or something by the next cycle? Make so much money. One token. So I am invested in the Voyager app. I forget who owns it. I think Voyager. But this baby is low cap, and I think this is going to do well. Similar to Cell token. Maybe not quite as good as Cell, but she is ready. And it's such a good buy and a good. Oh God. And the app is great. I love. It's very smooth. Yeah, the Voyager app. You can buy and sell and swap tokens very easily, much easier than Coinbase and Crypto.com. I mean, this thing. So is it $12 per token right now? Oh my God. I mean, it's at 13 cents right now. So I mean, the potential here is absolutely insane. I want to end it on that one. Again, not financial advice. This is kind of just a big overall run of what I think is going on in the markets. Yeah, you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll try and check in with everybody tomorrow. Good night.